Guys, all the cars that you see in these videos are for sale on my website, www.woodsandbarclay.com. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, welcome back. I think this is the final mechanical video on the 83 300D. As you can see, I have the passenger electric mirror removed. We're going to repair that. And I'm also going to look at the visors and see if any of the visor mirror surrounds are cracked, see if I have to change those. That's a very common issue. So here on my bench, you can see mirrors everywhere. That's actually a coupe mirror. You can see it's got a smaller triangle here than the 300D mirror. And I have some motors out of the car. And here is actually the mirror that I'm going to be putting back in the car. Now what I've done, I've lubricated, I've actually removed this motor. You can see how these are removed, and I'm in the process of cleaning these too. But there's little screw gears right there and right there. Those control your up and down and left and right. So these I'm actually servicing. These are out of other mirrors. I'm just kind of doing it all together. Here's the one out of the car that we're currently working on. And I've sprayed, Deox into the gears, and I've just put some household oil. It's like sewing machine oil. And you dab it a little on the gear here and here. Now this has been out. I've already put it back in and cleaned it up. You can see the Deox. It's still got a little of the wet Deox on there, which doesn't hurt anything. That's good for electronic components. But I want to show you how this works. So on some model motors, you have a black, white, and gray. This one, for example, is brown, white, and green. So here's how this works. Let me just set that here. So on the black, white, and gray, your black and gray is left and right. You just swap the polarity, positive and negative, between those two. Your white and gray, is up and down. And again, you swap the polarity to get it to go the opposite direction. On this model with the brown, white, and green wiring, you have green and white is up and down, and green and brown is left and right. So let me show you guys how that works. Okay guys, first I want to show you how you actually remove these mirrors. You just take a little plastic tool. This one's already been removed, but you clip it under the end and you simply pry up. And then once that's disconnected, you slide it out. And I'll show you why. You see there's a little ball socket right there. See that? It's just a little ball socket that plugs in right here. On the other end, you have these two slots right here. Now those two slots slip over the two pegs right there. So you don't want to break those pegs. That's why it's important when you put it back in, you slide it over the pegs. See if I can demonstrate this on camera. Here we go. You just slide it over the pegs and then you push down on the ball socket. So let me show you how these motors work. Take out our glass there. Okay, I just have 12 volt power here. This is just from my battery jump box. And first we're going to do right here, see the, here, let's see if I can get that in the camera. There we go. Green, white is up and down. Up and down is this lever. There he goes. This screw right here. I'll show you on one removed from the car. So this is your up and down. This is your left and right. There's the up and down screw. There's the left and right screw. And it's just a gear that turns the screwdriver. It's a worm gear. All right. So we know green and white is up and down. We're going to watch this motor right here. All right, that is going down. So if I flip that, it's going to go up. See how that's moving? And that's tilting your mirror up. And let me show you it tilt down again. See how that tilts down? And now the left and right, which turns it that way and that way, or in and out. How about that? That would be your green and your brown. So we'll put that here and here. Now watch this one right here. Green and brown. All right, that is going down there. Now if I swap them, see how that's coming back up? Anyway, that's how that works, guys. So this one has been fully cleaned and lubricated, should last a very long time. And I'll just put this right back in here. There we go. And then we slide that down over the little ball socket. There we go. And you just press. And there we go. This motor is, there we go. There's my camera that I'm recording with. And this motor is fully serviced. So let's get this back in the car. All right, so on the car, you can see we have 1, 2, 3 holes. And then there is our power plug right there. And then right here, you can see here's the rubber gasket. That's just like, I think that's like glue residue from a little foam piece from the factory. That doesn't hurt anything. But you have 1, 2, 3. So the way you install it, you connect your plug, and it only goes on there. It wants to go on there a specific way, which is like that. There we go. We connect our plug. Now this this wire, it doesn't go in the car. It like tucks up in the space between the mirror and the car. We get that gasket down in there. Okay, there you go. You can see we already put in one screw right there. And I'm going to get my other screw started right here. And that's it. There's just 3 screws that hold it in there. Now I'm going to show you how the cover plate goes on here. If you look closely here, you see this little clip? Okay, see how that little clip fits in that hole? That is very important. That's the retainer clip for our plastic plate that covers all this. Now, you have a slot here and here, and on the plastic plate, see you have those 2 right there, and then you have your pin right here. That pin is what slips into that little clip. There's some of the factory foam that's left over. I'm just going to leave it on there. And you slip that in right here like this. And it slides down in the door. And then you got to get it just right, and it snaps in there. Those pegs right in there. And then we got to slip it down in the door. You want to line up your peg up top. There we go. And it just presses back together. And that is now correctly mounted back in the car. So let's go ahead and test this out. All right, let's go ahead and give ourselves some power. There we go. Now, moving this switch right here, we're going to go up. And then we're going to go out. We'll go ahead and get this adjusted correctly. We'll go ahead and come down a little bit. And we'll come back in. Anyway, you guys see how that works now. Now I need to adjust it from the actual driver's seat. But it'll be something like that. Okay, guys, the next thing we want to look at are the visors. Now this is a common problem on the 123 chassis. I see this on, I would say 80% of the cars. Right here on your visor, sorry, my light is not working, but on the visor, see the little plastic piece is broken right there? See how it's broken right there? These are so fragile from the factory. Well, actually, I think it's just age maybe makes that plastic brittle. But what happens, you got to open it. Okay, cool, it still works. But there we go. The covers just fall right off. And of course, you can put them back in there and close them. But anyway, we want to go ahead and remove this piece and replace it with a non-broken or a good insert. Yep, you can see on this one too. Sure enough, right there. Looks like this one's on both sides. So let's go ahead and get these visors out of here and take out these old broken inserts and put in some good original Mercedes working inserts. Guys, I'm really not going to record how you take these out other than you do. There you go. You got a screw there. Then, of course, you can close the visor. And you have, there you go. You have a screw back here. And that's how you do it on both sides of the car. So I'll go ahead and get these out and get them over to the workbench. Okay, here we have the visors out of the car. We can see the lids are actually still good, in excellent condition. Let's just set those aside there. But as usual, it is the internal frame that's broken. So you can see here I have a few good internal frames. See, this is the entire assembly that goes in there. And see, these frames have 0 cracks. And I might have to clean the mirror. Oh, the mirrors have already been cleaned on these. So these are perfect mint condition originals. And all we got to do is you carefully pull out this. Now it's glued in. So you got to carefully pull it out. And then you, on the back, let's see. There you go. There's some of the foam from the visor that this came out of. But there you go. You can strip these wires. I'll get the foam off of there. And you reconnect the wires to the wires under here. And your ground and power come through these metal tabs right here. And so we'll just reconnect those, reinsert it, glue it back in place, and those will be brand new again. Okay, here is how you repair these guys. So this insert right here, the actual mirror, that is not damaged. So we can take, there's little bitty inserts where you can get a screwdriver, little slits right down in there. And then you can remove the mirror insert. See, there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I have a shelf over there with like 15 of these things on it. So we can actually set those aside. And let me go ahead and show you where this is. Right there. You see that little slit right there? You can get a screwdriver right there and carefully, there you go. You can carefully pry that up. And there you go. You can get to the assembly underneath. There is our problem. So what you have to do, now I'll leave a little tail on them there. Now, you have to be very careful because it's glued in, and you can see there's some of the glue right there. It's like this rubbery, epoxy type material. But if you force it, you'll rip up the foam that is underneath this MB-Tex. So you got to be real careful removing it. And you basically have to just kind of break it apart as you're removing it. There we go. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and get my razor blade and we'll slit that little glue piece right there. And there we go. And there we go. That is out of there. Now, oh, got one more piece attached right there. Okay, there we go. And you can see there's where the majority of the glue was, right over here in the corner. There's where the glue spots are. See how they're all around there? They would just basically squirt glue like that and then mash the other one in there. But we have gotten it out without damaging anything on the original visor. Now, once that is done, it's really as easy as putting your other insert in there. But what we have to do, see, here's our wires. We'll go ahead and strip these here. Okay. Now, set this aside. We're going to trim off. So what you see here, that's some of the old foam, because these wires, sometimes they are molded into the foam. So when they pull out the inserts, the foam comes off on the original wires. And we'll just trim that away. Okay, so first thing we want to do before we permanently reassemble it with our glue is we just want to splice the wires together, and then we want to check for connectivity. We want to check to make sure power is actually getting in there. All right, now we want to get 12 volt power and ground and apply it here and just make sure it works. And apply power. All right, cool. Now we'll close it, make sure it turns off. See how switch correctly works? There you go. So that's a perfectly good functioning insert. All right. So let's go ahead and get this insert back in the car. I'm sorry, back in the frame. For this, I'm not going to use epoxy. I'm going to use the gel Gorilla Glue. This stuff is awesome. I use it on all kinds of stuff, but it's gel based. So when you squirt it, it doesn't run everywhere like normal super glue. You can apply it and it'll stay where you apply it. You gotta gently pull it out of here. You want to apply the glue. This is the best method I've found. You want to apply it right along the edge like that. And you want to do that around the back edge. And we're going to apply it right along this front edge. There you go. See how that stays in place? It doesn't run. Now when it's along the edges, you can gently tuck it in here, and that glue will mash up between your frame, the MB text, and then the foam. It'll mash between that and this plastic frame, and guys, that is not going anywhere. All right, that is perfect. Now, let me show you. Good. That is exactly where I want it. Now, we got to set this aside, and we don't want to touch it, and you want to let that dry. And there we go. Our perfectly restored visor and mirror assembly. So let's set this aside. Let's work on the next one. And guys, the same goes for the passenger side. We've clipped our wires, and then we want to slowly just work out our plastic frame. So I'm not going to walk you through the exact same process again. I will just show the completed insert installed in here once I have it repaired. All right, guys, while the passenger side is drying, we got the driver's side complete. And let's go ahead and get this guy screwed back in here. It's a real big pet peeve of mine when these visors are not repaired on a 300D. That's why I try to make sure every car that leaves the shop has a repaired set of visors. Okay, there we go. And let's test the functionality. Boom. There we go. So there's a contact right there. And so the contact, you have to have it adjusted. There you go, where the metal is on the contact, and then it turns on. If you slightly move it off the contact, there you go, see, they'll turn off. There you go, there's where the power comes through. So that's perfect, and watch how it pops up. Perfect, shuts perfect, no cracks anywhere, the mirror is perfect, the lights work perfect. That is how it's supposed to be, you guys. We're going to move it off here. Go ahead and put it back on here. Beautiful. Mission accomplished. Let's get the other side in. And here's the passenger side. Guys, look how beautiful that came out. Again, here is our old piece there. You see, it's all cracked and damaged. It's like that on like 80% of the cars I see. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and get this back in the car. Okay, here we have the passenger side in. Let's go ahead and pull it down here. Boom. Perfect. See how nice that is now? No cracks. Perfect frame. All right, guys, the last item we're going to do today is test out the cruise control. So what I want to do, I've already removed the little screw covers and screws from the lower kick panel here. Okay, and then this panel can just come out here. And I can already see some of the old alarm system stuff under here. Okay, excuse the mess. Again, this car has not been detailed yet. We're going to vacuum and clean everything under here, but we can see the wiring for the alarm system has now been completely removed. Looks like this was an on-off switch where you could engage or disengage it. So that has been taken out of the car. There is no more wiring for the alarm system. What we want to tackle now is our cruise control. This is our cruise control module right here. And first we want to test the actuator under the hood. So we're going to go ahead and unplug. Let me get my other hand in here. We're going to unplug this cable right here. That is the main cable. This is the cruise control module that controls the cruise control, the acceleration and deceleration. But we can plug into this module and we can test the rest of the components in the vehicle. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we have our Mercedes test equipment plugged in. This is the old school test equipment where I can test the stalk, which is right here. I can test that. And I have the actuator under the hood. It is not connected. I just have it sitting up here. That's it right there. We can test the lever right there to make sure it moves back and forth. That's what moves the throttle linkage. So what we want to do, we'll put this on my lap here and we'll give it a little power. All right, so what we want to do right here is test our lever. There we go. Up, down, cancel, accelerate. Okay, that is working great. Now let's see if I can zoom in. We want to see if that little lever right there moves. There we go. See it correctly moved? That's what we want. So good. Those two components are working correctly. So let me go ahead and turn off the car. And what we want to do now is remove our actual cruise control box. There it is right up there, that big silver box. because I have an electrical engineer that resolders the components on the circuit board, the capacitors and whatnot that drift out of value. And we're going to put in a rebuilt unit. Now, there's an 82. Here's an 84. I think this is the same as an 83. And that's who does it for me, Franco Products. He has looks like a 1-year warranty on it. And there's Frank's number. Frank, hopefully you don't mind. Thousands of people are going to see this, so be prepared to be flooded with cruise control modules. Anyway, so we're going to make sure, so there's a number right here on the module. See? Let's see, 002-545-9132. We're going to make sure we grab one. There's a whole stack of them back here. And we're going to grab one that matches the number on our module. So let's go ahead and get that other module out of the car. Okay, I have our cruise control module mounted back on its mounting plate and have the arm attached over to the linkage. So I want to see if when I actuate it with the Mercedes test device, if that arm is going to pull back and pull our throttle linkage. All right, there's a pretty good view right there. Okay, here we go, testing. And we have full actuation. That is working perfect. All the way, fully actuated and release. Okay guys, that's great. So we have our cruise control. The motor up here is working. So now I want to reattach the original, I preserved the original zip ties for the module. So I'll put it back through there. Okay, perfect. That's our factory zip tie. And I'm not sure where that original factory zip tie was, so I'm going to have to put a regular zip tie on here. That's how Mercedes had it, right like that. And we'll clip that guy off. And there we go. That is the factory routing. All right, let's go ahead and get the module out of the car. So when we go up underneath here, there's our cruise control right there. Okay, there it is. You see that? Let's see if I can point to it. There's a 10mm bolt right back there. See it in the dead center of the picture? Right there. We have to get that out. Now to get that out, see there it is. You have to get a wrench up behind the steering column and around. And I have found that the perfect setup, the perfect length for that is this little cheesy hand socket tool out of my cheap socket kit with the little adapter on it. So that right there is the perfect length to get around the steering column, go up around it, come in and get that bolt out. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so what I do, I come right around here like that. And I know you guys probably can't see that. Okay, there we go. I am right on the bolt. And we can go ahead and spin this guy out now. There we go. It is broken loose. And then I can do the rest of it by hand. All right, there we go. And now we don't have to take that bolt out, but now our module, there we go, can come down. Let me unplug my test device real quick. Okay, I unplugged the test device, and basically this just pulls straight down. And if we flip it over, there we go. So there's where that 10mm bolt was, and there was a little locating pin that goes above it. So what we want to do is, let me spin this over. There we go. We have two Phillips head screws, one there and one there. We can remove this cruise control module and just put another one. So let's look at our part number. 001-545-7932. Let me go see. Now, a couple of part numbers are interchangeable. But let me go see if we have that exact part number. And here's a stack of them that I haven't opened from Franco Products. And lo and behold, the first one on the top is 001-545-7932. And this is a restored unit. See, originally I had bad written on it. Then I send it to Franco. He fixes it, warranties it, and it's warranted till 2024. And guys, if they work out of the box, they're going to work for years. But you see right here, these little tabs, see that tab and that tab. Basically, you bend those tabs back and these here and here. And then inside here is a circuit board. You can pull out that circuit board, and Frank resolders all the components and tests the board, cleans it up, and then reinstalls it. And see this one over here needs rebuilt, or need rebuild. So I'm going to send that back off, but here's all the ones that we've already gotten repaired. So let's go ahead and pop this in the car, and our cruise control should be good to go. Okay, we got that one unscrewed. We're just going to set our box right there, and we'll put our new box right there. All right, there's our new box. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in, and then the cruise control will be done. Okay, a quick thing I want to show. I've cleaned and lubricated the sunroof tracks, but I didn't show that in the previous video. So I just wanted to show how nice the sunroof opens, and you can see the wind dam correctly comes up, and it'll close when I close it back. Sunroof operates very smooth. See how the wind dam popped back up, and now if I close it, all that it has been serviced and is working correctly. Okay, I went ahead and picked up a new battery, Die Hard Gold. Picked it up at Advanced Auto, January, February, March, April 23. So that's a brand new battery. That'll last a long time. And what I also wanted to show you is that under the battery tray, you can see I have sanded under here and refinished it in the original anthracite gray color. I had a can of anthracite mixed up for any kind of touch-up work that I needed to do. It is very solid metal, no rust at all. But yeah, I sanded it and went ahead and repainted it, so that'll never be an issue, or at least it'll be good for decades to come. And also I used some of that anthracite. You remember the holes where we removed the right there where we removed the alarm system? I put a little JB weld in those holes and then just put a little touch-up paint over the top of it. I mean, it's still visible, but hey, pretty good for a mechanic. So what I'm going to do now, there's the battery tray. Earlier, this was refinished and repainted in the semi-gloss black, and you can see there was no rust at all. It's a completely solid battery tray. So we'll go ahead and just put that back in the car. Let's see if I can do this with one hand here. There we go. Let's see. There we go. All right. So that's been refinished, and there was no rust at all. That'll last for decades. So let me go ahead and screw that back in, and I will put the battery in and the battery hold down retainers. All right, let's get this battery back in there. And guys, it always helps to remove this the gasket that seals against the back of the hood, and that makes it much easier because these things are heavy. There we go. Let's get our hold down brackets in there. These just sit right there. And there's two 10mm nuts that hold them in place. All right, let's reapply our gasket. And there we go. Very nice. Refinished tray, hold down brackets. Made sure I treated underneath the battery tray. That'll be good for decades. And guys, there's one final thing I want to do, and it's retighten the seat back nets. You can see how they're sagging a little, so I'm going to remove this panel and detach the surround here, the frame, and then remove the slack and pull our seat back nets up like that. Just happens with age, they sag like that. Y'all have seen me do that in videos before, so I probably won't record that process, but here's the before, and I'll show you the after in a few minutes. Well, actually, you guys are going to see it in like 2 seconds. And there we go, guys. Doesn't that look so much better? They're no longer sagging. They're up tight. That just makes the world of difference. I hate sagging seat back nets. Jefferson, what do you think? What do you think? You like this car? All right, guys, before I put the under dash panel back up, I want to go test this cruise control. And I can tell you right now, the automatic climate control is working perfect. And let's go ahead. I'm going to just cruise up to the gas station, put a full tank of gas in it. And we're going to test this cruise control. First time I've driven it since all the work's been done on it. It's always an exciting day after I've been working on a car for however long I've been working on it, and then getting to take it out for the first time. Now, I did take it to the alignment shop, so that doesn't really count though. Well, let's just go down here and we're gonna swing up to the BP. There's a diesel station like half a mile down the road, and we're gonna hit our cruise control when we get out on the main road here and see how it does. Okay, we just left the gas station, and we're gonna get it up to speed here and test our cruise control. I think it's like 35 or 40 is the limit where it lets you engage it. So, all right, cruise control engaged. Boom. Foot is not on the accelerator, and we have a perfectly functioning cruise control. That is awesome. So let's see if I can accelerate. Well, we got a car in front of us now, so I'll cancel. Good, cruise control just canceled. I will, ooh, cool. It lets me set it at right at 30. There we go, we're not on the pedal, guys. So now I'm going to accelerate. So I'll press up on the handle. And there we go, we're accelerating. Perfect. I'll let off. All right, good. Now it should hold right around 40. Perfect. Now I'm going to tap the brake. All right, tapped, it turned off. Now I'm going to hit resume. Perfect. Now it's resuming and it's accelerating back up to 40 miles an hour. Awesome. That is a perfectly functioning cruise control. Well, guys, that's it for this video. I'm officially done with all the mechanical aspects of this vehicle, and tomorrow I'm taking it over to Scott, and he's going to start the interior and exterior detailing. Let me take off the cruise control here. Off. There we go. And then we're going to be done with this vehicle. So Scott might need 2 or 3 days. Not sure what he has planned for it, but he's the expert. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next video. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the detailing video because I'm flying out to pick up a vehicle. You guys are going to like this next one. But anyway, you will see it after it's detailed, and then you'll see the walk around video. So guys, I'm just cruising back to the shop. Might as well include, the test drive video here in the cruise control testing video. First thing you'll notice, I filled up the tank, so the gauge is stable and it correctly registers. RPM gauge is working correct. Odometer is rolling over correctly, and our temperature is perfect, right above 80. Here we can do a little bit of a test acceleration. Look at our shift point. Oh, there's a car in front of me. I got to slow down. But it's shifting. I floored it, and it shifts right around 4,500, which is perfect. Very strong motor. Must have inhaled some of that foam insulation from under the dash when I was replacing that cruise control. But yeah, it's just a great car. All the suspension's done, all the brakes are done, every little electronic gremlin I could find is all sorted out. This is a fully sorted, ready to go vehicle, and it drives fantastic. Now I went ahead and when I first took it out, oh, here we go. We're going to get a good opportunity to accelerate 0 to 60 right here. Show you how healthy this motor is. Let me turn out this light. There we go. All right, there we go. We're at a dead stop. And when this turns green, I'll let that car get a little ways in front of me. And ready, set, go. 0 to 60. You guys watch the shift points. Perfect. That was like 4,400. And there we go, guys. Super healthy engine. This thing is running outstanding. I mean, it only has 73,000 miles on it, so this engine's just broken in. I don't know, that might have been mid-13s. I'm guessing. You guys have probably seen the clock on the YouTube video at this point. But it just drives great. It tracks straight, it's smooth. What I like about these low mileage cars too is the steering wheels, all the grain and texture is not worn off. The steering wheels feel really good. The seat is super comfortable. The padding, there's no sagging. The springs aren't broken. The padding is very, very good. It's not worn out. Something about the earlier model diesels with the see, these cars had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pleats, and like the 84 model, it was like a 6 or 7 pleat. I can't remember. There were just more pleats. But something about the earlier model cars, like the 82, 83 that have the 5 pleats, I think the seats are more comfortable. Not sure what it is. You can see we're accelerating uphill here. Very strong motor. Perfect shift. Man, I got that Bowden cable adjusted exactly correct. I'm really happy with how this car turned out. It's driving fantastic. I can't wait to see it after Scott details it. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it back in here to the shop, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.